Alright guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I posted something, mainly because there's like a billion frickin' Marvel Rivals creators out there, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like being in that pool or anything, and I just want to make videos to be fun for myself, therapeutic. It was feeling like work. So today we're going to be playing Marvel Snap, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the state of MMOs. So this video is going to be mostly for Sarah, because they like to hear me complain and play. Let's see what type of quest I have to do real quick. I'm going to try my hardest not to deviate from the actual stuff too much and really get into it. So those of you that are my friends and online and yada yada, all that goodness, y'all are more than aware that I'm just unhappy with the state of Final Fantasy at the moment. The newest patch and the patch before it and the whole Dawntrail has really taken away the RPG elements of the game for me. Well, I don't need Feast. And Corvus Glaive on Carmitage is not going to be good. So we will throw you there. So yeah, just too much story, not enough gameplay. That's the biggest issue right now, is that there's nothing going on in the game. Yeah, why not? Let's just hope he doesn't hit MODOK. Just don't hit MODOK. And this is really brought to head with this last patch. This last patch gave us about 5 hours of story. Okay, and I'm okay with that. Gave us about 5 hours of story. Gave us one dungeon, one trial, like always. And it also gave us the Alliance raid, yada yada. But it also just didn't give us much else. While you're playing it, give me Kachu. Well, I don't want her. But I don't want to discard her. No, because I can do this. It's going to do that twice. Actually, why am I... Get over here. Boop, boop. Let's play this correctly. So yeah, during not the whole thing, the entire thing takes place in Solution 9, except for a little bit takes place right outside of Solution 9. But during that portion, all you're doing is you're going and you're like talking to people outside, and then finally whenever you find Erenville, you fight 3 creatures, and that's it. And it's all in one group too. So one AoE from Pictomancer took out all 3 creatures instantly, and that's the only bit of combat that I had throughout the entire patch outside of the dungeon, which is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, we don't need to play anything this turn. And if I'm in the minority, let's see, I can put 25 there, and that'll match him, but if he plays anything else... let's just go for big to assure, but he's gonna retreat. Anyway, that's just ridiculous in my opinion. And you know, some people are for this and everything, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna get into the story of Dawntrail and all that stuff because I've complained about that enough, and a million people have already complained about it enough. And I just said there's already too many people doing Marvel Rival stuff. There's too many people complaining about Dawntrail. And I'm not really here to complain about Dawntrail because it's a realization for me. On what I'm looking for in games and what I'm expecting from games and stuff like that and all that nonsense. Let me go collect my credits. We're going to break down the 2 big major MMOs in my life. That'll be Final Fantasy and WoW. I've played other MMOs briefly and whatnot. I mean, I played a lot of Final Fantasy XI, but it's really hard to compare Final Fantasy XI to anything else because of when it was made and stuff like that. It's literally just a relic of its time. It is a 100% different game than anything you'll play. Ever since WoW came out, everything else is mirrored WoW, and so something like Final Fantasy XI just isn't seen anymore. And so I'll be comparing the other two. So you have different aspects of it. If you want to play the game casually, if you want to RP, and if you want to play the game on a higher level, that's going to be about the big three that you can look at. Now, don't want to use Colleen because she can get rid of either Corvus or Lady Sif. There's no point in playing her, so I'm going to hold off. And now we will drop Corvus here. We'll see what he gets rid of. And the reason why I say that is... I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But yeah, you have your casual, you have your RP, and you have your intense gameplay. So if we break down each category, I'm going to have to give the casual gameplay definitely goes to Final Fantasy over WoW. One of the things that made me upset about WoW towards my end time of playing it was that I felt like one of the big contributors to me not liking it anymore was I felt like I always had to be playing it. Like I had to be playing it. If you ever missed any point of it, you were in trouble. Yeah, sure, why not? I definitely lost this round. But anyway, continue on. I feel like if you at any point ever stopped playing it, you would fall behind a great deal. And you would have to usually wait until the next patch if you wanted to catch up. And that, of course, is not a fun feeling. We'll put Conchu, actually. Oh no, we'll put Conchu there, and we'll put him there. There we go. That's not a fun feeling of always being behind because and I'm talking like if you're playing on a mid-tier level, not on a high tier, but you still want to get like some basic mythic done each week. You want to get all your dailies, all your rep grind and everything done, and falling behind really sucked. Final Fantasy, if somebody got their character to level, whatever the hell the level cap is right now, I don't even care that much. So I forgot. I think it's 80 or 90. Or 100. Is it 100? Fuck if I know. I play the game every single day, and I can't even tell you the level cap right now. That's how little I care about it. So we'll go into that a little bit later. But if you hit the level cap in Final Fantasy, in Dawntrail, and you didn't play for all of 7.1, and you just came back today to 7.2, versus me, somebody who played the game every day and everything. I mean, I didn't do the max I could every day, but my character was basically fully geared to the point in that respect without doing the highest end content and all that. If you came back today and either bought or crafted your own gear, you would not only be at my level, you would be at higher than my level. Because the crafted gear is 740. And so after about 10 hours of cutscenes and 2 dungeons and 2 trials, you would be caught up to me. And that's a little silly in my head. And it's one of the things that I find to be a bad aspect of Final Fantasy. Because, yeah, they have this idea that they want you to be able to go play other games and stuff like that and enjoy your time and yada yada, but there's a difference between go enjoy your time and play other games versus don't play hours at all. And that's the one that I think is just really bad. Just the don't touch our game, go do other things. And it's this packed cycle that really put the nail in the coffin for me on that regard. But I don't want to just spend the whole video talking about that, so we'll move on. From an RP standpoint, It really depends on what you want to do. Final Fantasy is much more limited in its RP scope because the community is not nearly as tight knit as, say, the WoW community. You get rid of evens, right? Yeah. So we'll do this. So they like to try to be. They like to try to pretend that they're super close knit and everything, but being nice is not being close knit. They're super nice to an annoying degree at some points. I'll get to that in a second. But they're not close knit. Nobody's close to each other. In fact, there's anti-guild synergy in Final Fantasy, which is kind of weird. Now, do I want to drop him in the middle and then play MODOK next turn? Or do I want to drop him over here and then drop MODOK in the middle and buff the crap out of him? Let's do that. Because he'll also hit Scorn a ton. See, I don't want to play Blade because no matter luck, Blade's going to hit MODOK. So we are not going to hit Blade. All we can do is hope for Conchu now. Come on, give me Conchu right here. That's not Conchu. Anyway. So, but it also gives you the avenue if you want to RP like much more casual things. You know, your day to day, your slice of life. You're going to clubs. You're going to, you know, restaurants and stuff like that. It makes it much harder for an environment of attempting to. I love MODOK. Attempting to like get like storylines off the ground. The like combat RP is very limited in it, and you're just not going to see it. Like we've been there for we're going to be going up on 4 years now in Final Fantasy, and we have not had a single recruit stay in more than like 2 weeks. And we get recruits few and far between, and there's no combat RP and stuff like that. People don't want to play adventure because the game itself makes you the adventurer. So whenever it comes time to roleplay, people are wanting to roleplay. You know, I want to sit back and I just want to enjoy my life, and that's perfectly fine. WoW's going to have your it's much more easier to get into like an RP guild that is all about, you know, combat and D20 system and much more Dungeons and Dragons-esque. And it also has to probably do with the aesthetic a lot because WoW really pushes the medieval aesthetic and all that stuff and this high fantasy aesthetic versus Final Fantasy for the past, at least since Dawntrail, has pushed this K-pop aesthetic that is just getting on my nerves. Every patch, even like the PvP items and stuff like this, are all these like K-pop items and all this crap. And I'm not even gonna get into the fact that like half of it, you know, Viera can't even wear, you know, play a Viera, so I can't even wear half of my shit because it all has hats and stuff like that, and the defining feature of the outfit is the hat. Stupid pieces of shit. But then let's move on to the more hardcore setting. So you have your hardcore setting in Final Fantasy. What do you do? Fill your hand with random cards. Because it used to be you fill your hand with 6 drops. I don't even know whenever they changed it. Yeah, I want this one. But yeah, they used to. Not that used to. Let's move on to the hardcore setting. So I'm going to go for like mid-core hardcore setting. You definitely have to go with WoW because first off, they just release a ton more content. Damn. That's not what I wanted to see. Let's do you. Because this will get rid of Helicarrier, and this will get rid of one thing in my hand from Helicarrier, so I can draw something from my deck. Let's see what we get. Right. Hit Wolverine. Don't hit Hellcow. Hey, bomb's fine. If you play your next card at this location, double its power. I think I'd rather just play Hellcow. So yeah, WoW just has more content, and one of the big issues I want to talk about right now is the actual storylines of raids and stuff like that. WoW has the benefit of having its raids and everything condensed down to its storyline. Oh, look, I can do that. And double the power of Moon Knight, I guess. Sure, why not? Oh, I have one more turn. I didn't realize. Whoops. So he's gonna double that. Is he? So if he has a frickin' Arnim Zola, I just lost, but we'll play it out anyway. Let's do that because he's gonna drop a big thing over there. So we'll see if he has Arnim Zola. Yeah, WoW storyline, their raids are usually concluded each, well, not concluded, but the raid is concluded each patch. And that's a good thing because, like, right now we have the Arcadian storyline going on, which means that every 8 months the storyline continues. Versus... When did you... That's pretty funny. That was a pretty funny moment. Okay. That made me laugh. So yeah, that means 8 months until we get the next portion, which will be the final portion. And that means another 8 months or another 4 months now until I get the next portion of the Final Fantasy XI storyline. And that's just long periods of times in between each story. Ridiculous amounts, one would say. And this slow drip is just not fun to experience. So again, the rating content and like just the content like that in general just automatically goes to WoW for that. Okay, well this is good. So that fills up my hand. So that means that I can play Blade and not hit Morbius. We are not hitting Morbius. It is going to be Morbin time next. There we go. That's all we care about. And see, now we can safely cast Morbius, and then we can cast Colleen Wing into something. Well, I bet you wish you could have had your collector out turn 1, huh? Sure, why not? Because I mean, we're not going to be playing Helicarrier, so I don't care if it's only 3 power. Yeah, continuing on. Go, Corvus. Hit Helicarrier, please. Good boy. Really? You want to use Fenris Ederle for frickin' Psylocke? Interesting. Sure, why not? Alright, that brings up 21. Can't beat that. Yeah, snap. Your opponent has retreated. Where was I? Sorry, I know I keep on getting distracted by the game. But you know, last turns are always a big deal. But let's talk about other aspects of the game. And now we're going to talk about story. I completed my quest. I'm not going to get too much into the story. What a horrible Black Widow. I'm going to talk about the differences of story and the storytelling. So, one thing Scourge made me realize the other day, and Scourge is guy in our FC, and one thing he made me realize is that I've been complaining a lot about Final Fantasy, and like I knew I was complaining a lot, but I didn't realize how much I was complaining, and it's because it was like a complaint where it was like just off the cuff thinking, and not really like full on complaints. Because like back when I would complain about WoW, it was like I was complaining. This is actively like hurting me, like just like it was affecting like my mental like my mental status a little bit. Like, you know, like just I was like I cared a lot about the world that we were in. Because I grew up with the Warcraft story. I've been playing Warcraft since Warcraft 2. I mean, I played a little bit of 1, but I'm not going to say I've been playing since Warcraft 1, because I played Warcraft 1 a tiny bit, and then never picked it up again. But then I started really playing Warcraft 2. Then Warcraft 3, you know, was a huge fucking deal. And then, you know, that became WoW, and I played WoW forever. I met my wife on WoW. Met a lot of my friends on WoW, people that showed up to my wedding, the people that I still talk to these days on Final Fantasy. They followed me to WoW and stuff like. I mean, they followed me from WoW. So like, I met great people, and so it was a huge aspect of my life. And leaving it was, you know, no easy decision. It's not a decision I regret either, because I believed wholeheartedly at the time that the game was at a state that was damn near irreparable for me. And it's because I cared so much about it. I cared so much about the story. I cared so much about everything behind it. And they were just taking the story and they were just ripping it apart. And whenever it comes to Final Fantasy, I just realized that, like, I don't care about it. I get annoyed by it, but I don't care about it at all. You can go there, you can go there, then you can go there. That should be pretty good. And yeah, I know that sounds kind of bad, but I mean, like, there's just nothing to care about in the game, because like the story is such slow-paced drip that by the time that it gets resolved, you don't care about it anymore. The storyline all revolves around these characters that, from like, because, you know, like I RP, so like I think of a lot of things in the RP perspective. A lot of the storyline doesn't matter to me as an RPer because it's not introduced in a way that you can RP with. So it's literally just a non-story. The gameplay is just non-existent, so I don't have to worry about the gameplay being good or bad. It's just a non-existent game, sadly. And yeah, that sucks to think about. But so I can't really get passionate about it, about like my arguments and stuff on why things should be what, or why I'm just it's just empty complaining whenever I complain about it. It's like, yeah, why the fuck are they doing this? Because like it's one of those like no nonsense things that whenever I complain about it, I'm just sitting there thinking like, why is this happening? Why is it like this? Because it just seems so logical that things should be different. And for all of WoW's faults, I think one of the issues at hand is that Final Fantasy is very safe. It's very safe in its story development. It's very safe in its content development too. They don't want to do anything to upset people. So all the story development is done like they make characters they know people are going to like. They do things that they know people are going to like. They make every dungeon the exact. You can have 2 trash pulls and a boss. You can have 2 trash pulls and a boss. You have 2 trash pulls and a boss. You know you're going to get 1 dungeon. You know you're going to get 1 trial. You know you're going to get either the 4 bosses there, or you're going to get the 4. Let's see. I'm going to do this because I have no clue what I'm doing. I haven't been paying attention to this. Oh wait, we have 1 more round. I really hope you hit Concho, not Heimdall. Little bastard hit Heimdall. Let's see, are you? And then you can go here. Anyway, as I was saying, I really wish you would have stayed where you were. He's gonna load all those up. I lost. Either way. Yeah, so all the storyline, you just by the time you get to it, you don't care about it anymore. And like, in the same, like you're gonna get you're gonna get your dungeon, and then like you're either gonna get the main raid series, which is gonna be 4 bosses every single time, or you're gonna get the alliance raid series, which is 3 to 4 bosses in an alliance raid. Exactly, like we are, like Ryla has already planned out their coins because they know the exact cadence of the patch. They know how many times they need to run each alliance raid as they come out to get all the coins that they need, so that they don't have to worry about it at a later point. And it's very safe in that regard. You never have to worry about your class changing greatly. Like I know Black Mage got a quote unquote rework, but I mean it's a rework that was like they changed the cast times of things. Like whenever they do a rework, it's such a minor, unless you're a fucking monk. So before monk players come at me, shut up, you fucking idiots. I don't care about you. Anyway, yeah. Unless you're a monk player, whenever you get a rework, it's like such a minor rework that it barely affects you. Whereas with WoW, they make characters that people are gonna hate. They make story changes that they know people are going to hate, but they have a story they want to tell. Is this always good? No. It's far from always good. So sometimes it's so bad that people quit the fucking game. I mean, look at Shadowlands. However, they still made a choice. I'm not going to say it was a good choice, and I'm not going to stand behind that choice, but it was a choice that they made. Versus... Damn you, Mark. Getting so much energy. No, I wanted that one. I really don't want to play Blade because he's going to hit a MODOK. Yeah, hit Conchu twice. Oh, good job, Blade. First time that little bastard's ever worked. That works out really well for me. Thank you. I was like, damn, it sucks that MODOK has a... Oh no, I can't play it. Because Civ might hit MODOK. So if he gets hit again... So yeah, I have to play him, and I have to hope that he doesn't pour his 12 into the... middle here. So that MODOK can go off twice. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'd rather Scorn go off twice. Why'd you leave? Yeah. So basically, WoW takes risks with their shit, and Final Fantasy doesn't. And I guess what I'm saying is I wish that there was more risk in Final Fantasy. Do I want the risk with the storyline? No, not really. But I would really wish there was risk with the gameplay, because the gameplay is very, 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 very stale. Unapproachable. I would say even unplayable. The only reason that I'm even playing it is because of my friends. I would not engage with the gameplay if it was not for my Sunday night crew. However, that being said, I do enjoy playing the game on an RP level, because I enjoy the characters, and I enjoy that the storyline is so non-offensive that it doesn't affect me at all. And I get to play my character how I want to play it, and I don't have to give a damn about anything ever happening in the game and it ruining my fun. Because I know that because of that, like, my friends will be there, I'll have fun with them, I don't have to worry about people quitting over, you know, storyline changes, gameplay changes, or anything, because the changes are so non-existent that they're just going to stick around until they don't feel like playing anymore. And, well, that, you know, and eventually it's going to happen. They're not going to want to play anymore. That's perfectly fine. I'll miss them whenever they do, and hope that we can still hang out in some way whenever they do quit. Because, like, there's some friends that I still hang out with every now and then from WoW, even though I don't play WoW. Like Roke, I still every now and then we'll play a Hearthstone together, we'll play some random crap together. I can still just message him, and it's just like it was yesterday that we talked, even if it had been a year. And that's an awesome feeling to have. But yeah, so I hope I can keep that feeling with my friends that I have currently. Yeah, that's really all I gotta. Oh man, that sucks. I guess we'll start trying to build up over here. They must have just drawn their Morbius. Oh no. They're playing a Gambit build. Their build's better than mine. Oh no, is MODOK gonna fill up my hand before my Khonshu can come back? Well, we'll find out for science. Okay, no, so... And still very much lost. So. Because he got his since he got his Morbius late, he got to fucking place it on the Nexus. Like the only chance I had if I really played Arnim Zola. Did I really win? No, I didn't win because yeah, he. No, yeah, I won. Tie. Wow, wow, okay, a perfect tie. Heh. That's pretty funny. There you go. So yeah, I have no intent on quitting Final Fantasy because there's nothing to quit over, and I'm still gonna do my fucking raids and stuff. Because I mean, the thing is that I only have to play the game a total of. See, it takes about 13 minutes to do a dungeon, so you do that times 5. That's an hour and a half at most of dungeons per week. Then we raid for 2.5 hours on Sundays. So I play the game. I play the actual game for 4 hours a week, and we usually have about 2 to 3 events per week. So it's about another 9 hours. So yeah, I play the game for about 15 hours a week. It's such a even though I talk on my Discord daily, I'm on the game daily, and everything. It's just it's left so little impact. It's like both a depressing thing and a relieving thing to say because I can just not care about it, and yet still care deeply enough about it because I felt the need to talk about it, and I just felt the need to, it's like, I care about my friends and I want to keep on doing stuff with my friends, and so yeah, I'll always be around for that. Just God, I wish the game was better. Anyway, that's all that I had. Hope you enjoy.